This is my entry for this week's DreamSnap, Potion Master's Lair. Now, I knew I wanted to try and use the magic moon setting, and maybe use the new purple witch purse accessory for the pose. I also liked the idea of doing a magic city street type of look, but was a little worried it wouldn't feel like a Potion Master's Lair, so I was feeling a bit unsure about it. So I just started grabbing a bunch of items that I thought would fit the theme, and hoped something would inspire an idea, or a way that would make the street setting work. I figured that was probably enough items for now, and tried sorting through them. I knew I liked the bewitched garden tools, cauldron, and the witchy potion stand, so I wanted to try and use them. And if I was going to go for a street look, I needed some houses. I liked the idea of using the potion brewer's house, so I had to make some room for it, and other buildings. So, shifting some things around, trying to figure out a good spot for it, I thought the Dreamlight arch was fun, and had a witchy vibe, so I was hoping to use it as well. Scooting the watchful spellbook, moving the owlish pink potion cabinet out of the way, and adding the masquerade gothic manor, trying to fit it in there, but I apparently started building this too close to the edge of the floating island, so it didn't want to fit. I considered moving one of the potion stands, but I liked having them there, and kind of liked the idea of having them in the foreground, so I moved it closer instead. The foreground is feeling a bit crowded, so I moved the cauldron and put it under the Nightthorn lights. Adding some of Isma's potions, I wanted to mirror the potion stand in the foreground with the other one, so I scooted the jungle thorns, and then was able to fit it, getting a better angle, adding more potion stands, one on the left, and another in the back on the right. It was starting to feel a little too repetitive, so I tried swapping out a potion stand for the coffee shop house instead. Couldn't see it there, so I scooted it back. It wasn't feeling like it fit the vibe, so I tried adding another Nightthorn light to blend it in, but it didn't help, so I got rid of them. Considered the magical orchard tree house, but it didn't feel right either. So I grabbed the witchy cottage, and that felt like it matched better. Adjusting its placement, adding another giant potion, and a frightful fountain. Twisting it a little, adding more potions. I wanted to add a pathway to help it feel more like a street, so I tried the rocky terrain and brought it down the street. I tried to make it wider, but it wasn't feeling right, so I undid it. And I put the rocky terrain down on the edges of the street, under the buildings. I wasn't sure how to continue them, since I did have the other building in the back, so I switched to adding more to the foreground. Adjusting them, getting a better look. Still wasn't sure how they meet up in the back, but figured I'd deal with it after I added pathing for the street. I grabbed the mud path, and tried to fill in the center. Checking how that looked. That was feeling better, but I wanted to add more mud path onto the rocky terrain, so I brought it out on both sides. Better. Adjusting the rocky terrain to accommodate the building in the back, filling in with more pathing, and more rocky terrain. That's feeling better. And I kinda like the idea of the fountain spitting into the cauldron. Adding more potions. I really like the idea of getting some flying books in the shot, so I added the autumnal clock tower. It didn't look like the books would be in the shot, so I moved it to the front instead, and is blocking me from getting a better angle. Added the wicked fiery thorns, and I figured I should check how it's looking. Getting into a better position, I was hoping to get the magic swirl with the broom behind my character, so trying to line up with that. Switching to the magic moon setting, and the purple witch purse pose. And I liked that. Needs more details, and the books from the clock weren't showing, but I liked how it was looking so far. Considered the dragon or owl poses, since those versions of the critters had some potions on them, but I wasn't feeling it. And I didn't know that the clock dropped leaves as well. Scooting a little closer to try out a closer shot. I didn't mind it, but something was feeling off, so I tried the critter poses again, still not feeling them. Twisting my character around to see if facing the camera works better for them. Still wasn't feeling it. Moving the clock tower over, in hope of getting some books in the shot. I wanted to add the pumpkin vine shelf, but wasn't sure where to put it, and it didn't really fit anywhere, so I ended up putting it in the back. Getting a better angle, adding some bubbles, and scattering them around. Dropping some items I thought would be fun to add, and remembered to move out of my setup before doing so. Getting back into position, scattering some potions into the bubbles, and on the ground. Adding some snippet frogs, as I thought they could be a fun touch. scattering in some pixel flames, as I thought they kinda gave a magic fire vibe, adding one to the back behind the cauldron, as it kinda felt fitting there, adding some glimmer, and some apples. I thought that golden apple kinda looked like an apple that had a spell or a potion used on it, so I swapped it into the bubble above the spellbook, and moved that potion to the ground. Scattered in some deadly nightshade, and more potions, and some Vitali crystals. Added a few volcanic rocks, adjusting the glimmer, and grabbed the Vizier's alchemy table to push the camera forward now that the clock was moved. I liked that, but something was feeling off. Debating critter poses again, and angle, and considered making my character invisible. Moved the broom over for the owl to possibly be perched on, and added some tables to put some chandeliers on, since it was feeling a little dark. Checking how that's looking. I thought the owl was fun, but it still wasn't feeling quite right, and I was a little worried that since it was supposed to be a potion master's lair, people might be expecting it to have a character in it. Plus, I did like how my character looked in the shot, though I was hoping to get the magic swirl from the broom in the foreground, so I moved it to the front, and added some floating candles, and scattered in a bunch of melted candles, adding some more smaller pixel flames. Debated trying to have my character reach for the potion. It was cool, but I wasn't feeling it. And I was starting to feel like I really should have a cauldron closer to the front of the shot, and was doubting the more magic street vibe since it wasn't feeling very Lair-like. So I tried adding either the Sea Witch's cauldron or the Heavy Iron cauldron. Neither fit. Adding another Nightthorn light to the background, and a batty tree to help fill in the skyline. I tried moving the spellbook closer, but it didn't fit either. Scooting some things around, adding the Sea Witch's cauldron, but it didn't feel right, so I swapped it for the other one. Scooting it closer, adjusting the broom. Adding some leaf pile rugs for some texture on the road. Better, but I want to try having the cauldron in the foreground, so I shifted some things around to fit it. Checking how I liked that, and that felt more fitting for a potion master. But now I needed to figure out my pose, since the other one wasn't going to work with the setup. Checking out the new ones to see if any of them would work. And I kinda liked the snippet one. But I wanted to scoot the foreground bubble up a little as the potion was getting cut off. Adding some fireflies, and a few purple butterflies. Checking how that's looking. Better, but I want to get closer to the cauldron, but it won't let me. So I was going to use a trick to glitch my character slightly into the cauldron to get closer. I believe this trick is only usable on PC. To do it, you move the item you want to glitch into out of the way. Move your character into that spot. Then put the item back on top of where your character is now standing. Then pick it up, and hit escape twice. Once to let go of the item, and again to exit furniture mode. And I liked that better, but the camera was feeling a little too high up, so I wanted to try a different glitch to lower it, while staying in the second camera mode to keep the sky view. To do this glitch, you need to go into selfie mode. Crouch, then uncrouch, and immediately switch into second camera mode. And I liked that. Something was still a little off, but I figured it was time to add some tags. Checking if that was enough, and scooting forward again, since glitching into an item often pushes you back out of the item when you exit camera mode. And I kinda want to put a book where the floating potion is instead, so it could look like she's reading off instructions or something. So, scooting the bubble and adding another. Moving the potion and adding a book. And the cauldron doesn't want to fit anymore, so shifting things around. I didn't mean to glitch my character that far into the cauldron. Getting out and trying again. Not bad, but I want to try and see what a third camera mode angle would look like. Need to move the alchemy table out of the way, since it's pushing the camera. Moving the potion to the other foreground corner, scooting forward. Checking how that's looking. I don't mind the angle, but I miss the sky. Twisting the book a little, moving the floating potion back, and adding another to the table, to see if I like that better. And I forgot to move the alchemy table back. Back out, moving it back, checking how that's looking. And that's feeling too close. Scooting it further back, trying again. A little better, but I want to try moving the book to the other side instead. You can't really see it there. So shifting things around to try and get the book in a better spot. Checking if that's better. Better, but my character needs to scoot over. And that rainbow is not supposed to be showing, so I need to move it out of view. So, scooting the rainbow, and moving over a bit. Moving the book back a little, trying to compensate for my character moving, and you can't see the book again. Moving it back to the other side. That's feeling better, but I need to scoot my character closer. Better, but I don't like seeing that much of the cauldron. Scooting the alchemy table closer again, and I forgot to scoot closer to the cauldron. Trying again. Maybe a little too close now. And I don't like that both floating potions are yellow, so swapping one of them out for the red one. Checking how that's looking. Better, but the right side is feeling a little empty? So shifting some things around to try and help with that. Better, but now I want to push the yellow potion back a little too. And the wings are starting to bother me, so I want to change them. Scooting the potion back. Not sure about the cloak, and something is still feeling off. Getting rid of the cloak. And I want to try adding a glow behind my character. So I put down 2 Vitali Mines lights, grabbed 2 display pillars, and put more lights on them. Then grabbed 2 enchanted castle oil lamps, checking how that's looking. Promising, but the glow was a little low. Adding the 2-headed torch to add a little more height. And placing 5 of them down. Better, but something is still feeling off, so I want to try adding a filter. The last one on the top row to see if it helps with the lighting. That's feeling a little better, as it's calming down the fog of the magic moon setting, and letting me see a little more of the build, though I want to adjust my character's positioning, as she's not feeling centered with the glow behind her. That's feeling better. Now just to catch good bubbles and hopefully a flying book in the background. It took a while, but I got one. Now I like the idea of adding the new motifs to the most prominent bubble, to add a little extra touch to the magic vibe. Though I wish that you use more than one of each motif, so I could have added the effects to the other bubbles as well. If you're curious, this snap took a little over 3 hours to do. Thank you for watching the video. Please like it if you found it at all helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more like this.